All right, a quick update then. As I've said before, these are Macross legs here, and there's no way I'm going to buy the kit just for them. So as I think I showed you before, I've mocked up a facsimile. All right, and also I think I said before, I've no idea what these things are. So joining the pipe to the lampshade, I've just used some tank treads. So it's this is an inspired by build rather than a slavish recreation. And I've stuck my first wing on. This wing here is that wing there. All right. Something I really didn't think about is this thing that I've mocked up. I've just done it at a flat end, but of course you've got a curve. So there's a heck of a gap there, just there. So what I've just done is with some thin plastic card, I've drawn around this tube, and then I'll cut it out, and that gives me the curve. And then I've got to I've got to lay that on there, and then cut back and just fill in there because that looks a bit awful. And also we've got a gap there. I'm going to put some tubing in or something like that. This is going to be a bit more detailed than Matt did because time wasn't on his side, and he had to get this built ready for filming the Doctor Who story. So yeah, I'm going to have more detail because, as I say, it's an inspired by. So that is that, right? And then I've been thinking more and more about this area here, which will go on the bottom. And I keep saying the phrase, by eyeballing it, I figured it's this size tube, this main bit. And what I did was, while studying that photo, I got the 90 centimeter tube, length tube that the EMA pipe comes in, and I held it up against that, and then I moved my finger down until I thought it was roughly where that ends. And I made a mark on it, got the tape measure out, and it was near as darn it to 7 inches. Of course, Matt would have been using an imperial ruler, no metric, back in the late 70s, early 80s. So that is a piece of a 7-inch piece of EMA pipe, which is going to be that. Then eyeballing it, looking at that size pipe for these 4 other pipes, I figure that is close enough. Styrene rod, again from EMA. All right, and on the way from EMA, I've got, I don't know how he attached them, but there's these little clip things. And EMA do a clip thing, a little like U-shaped thing on a stand. And they do some that's exactly would fit on that diameter tubing. So I've got some of them on the way. The other thing I've got on the way, I don't know if you can see there, that looks corrugated. Whatever is at the end there, again, don't know what it is. Whatever is at the end there is corrugated, right? And I've got to, or try to reproduce that here. You can see where I've marked how far I reckon it's going to come out. And I don't know if you can see, but I've put 3 because again, eyeballing it, whatever those cogs are, they look about 3 millimeters. So what I've got coming from EMA as well is some 3 millimeter half round rod. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that out of that. And that will go around there like that. And also, just in there, that looks like there's a bit of a thicker pipe before that pipe. And for that, this is now the remains of a tube that I've had for years and years and years, which came off our children's broken toy Hoover, right? And I've had that in my bits box for ages, and it's just about right. That fits in there like that. Okay. This is that horrible waxy plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it in plasticard. That also tidies up that cut that I've done. And I'm going to hot glue that onto something else. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm now going to be busy doing all this bit, right, I can't attach all that. I can't, I can't hold on to it if all 4 wings are on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out another ring of plasticard and work on this back section separately until I've got it done. And then when it's done, I'll just glue it onto that, right? So it's a sub-assembly. All right, so as I say, I've got stuff coming from EMA, so I can get started on the rear bit. I've got the slog now of filling them gaps in somehow. And once I've done it, I've then got to do it another 3 times. So that's going to be a joy. So I think I'll come back once I've done that and the 4 wings are on. And I'll also tell you how I've got on with this piece.